Afternoon Express South Africa. I'm Balisa Dembe, and the winds of change are literally rolling in as President Ramaphosa announced updated lockdown regulations last night. Now, the way we manage our relationship has had to change as a result of the ongoing lockdown. So today, we connect with actress and new mother, Karishma Bastey, about how raising a baby during these times has changed her life and marriage. And we're joined again by intimacy coach Marilu Kaba to find out how the world of dating has changed. Now, we want to find out from you on social media. What is your lockdown relationship status? Ladies in the kitchen, I hope you're listening to this one. Are you ladies single, taken, or like Jada Smith and in an entanglement?
Well, Palesa, over here in the kitchen, my relationship status right now is that I am missing Anele, and I seem to be doing this whole thing by myself today. Well, actually, no, guys, I'm not alone. I've got the amazing Miss Jenny Morris here in the kitchen with me today.
And it's so good to be here.
And so today we're going to be making some date balls. It's so great for you to be here, actually. How have you been?
I have been lazy, tired, cold, wet. Not been good. I mustn't complain. There are people worse off than me.
Well, hopefully we're going to cheer up your mood today because we're going to be making some microwavable date balls using our amazing Clover Fresh milk.
I love that blue bottle. And it doesn't stink.
I know, right? So for all the recipe details, all the information, go on to afternoonexpress.co.za. But for now, let's hear what Karishma has to say.
How exciting! We have TV presenter and actress Karishma Bastey with us today on Afternoon Express as she shares her journey into motherhood and how she's been able to rock it all. Welcome back to The Loft, Mama.
Thank you so much for having me. It's so good to be back with you guys. You guys are family and I miss you guys.
We miss you so much, baby girl. But congratulations. I mean, thank you for joining us firstly. But I have to also say congratulations on your bundle of joy, your baby girl. What are your first feelings when people say congratulations?
Oh man, what a sense of pride. You know, bringing a human into this world is a big deal. Making it through the first 6 weeks is a bigger deal, in my opinion, right now. So yeah, I think I feel such pride to know that I brought this little human into this world. And when people say congratulations, we just beam with happiness.
Oh, congratulations, Mama. Baby girl is officially 2 months old today. That must make you so proud. But I can only imagine the challenges that you had to face given the outbreak of the coronavirus nationwide during lockdown. So tell us a little bit about these changes and challenges that you and your husband had to face, and how have you overcome them?
Well, it was really intense for us at first because my husband's an anti-poaching pilot and he works in Africa, so he was 6 weeks away and he was due back home on the day that they were closing the borders. And him being French, we thought, oh my goodness, are they even going to let him in? And, you know, we had so much planned for this time. You know, we had baby showers, we had dinners with friends, we had trips away for my birthday. So the biggest challenge for us was really re-looking at how we were going to navigate all of this, restructure for me in my head, my plan on, you know, what my journey towards motherhood was going to be like now without a baby shower, without all of these things that, you know, we do place a fair amount of importance on. But then that also wasn't challenging for us because we had planned to take this time to just nest, you know, and just really be with each other. And yeah, so lockdown was actually wonderful for us and such a great time to be pregnant and to bring a little human into this world.
So then how do you then manage that? I think that there has to be a fair amount of give and take. Are you sure you don't want to have a welcome to the earth baby, Ayla?
Well, you know, there's so many things that we could do and there's so many new ways. I mean, look at technology. Look at how we're doing this right now, you know. But at the end of the day, we've loved just being in our little bubble with our little family and just, you know, how often can you say that two parents can really take this time to just be at home, bond as a family, you know, and have time to settle into our new life, our new normal, you know, forget lockdown and forget COVID. This is our new normal. So it's really been wonderful. The sad thing has been, of course, that, you know, our parents are away. Gail's parents are in France. My parents are in Durban. So they haven't been able to see their grandchild, which has been really heartbreaking.
I can imagine that separation and that distance, them wanting rather to be able to be part of that process, welcoming baby into the world and helping you out, because I'm sure you need a whole lot of help right now.
It really takes a village. It's forced us to really form strong roots and strong foundations of, how we want to parent and how we navigate things in our little family, because you don't have that help. And to be honest, help is amazing, but sometimes your baby just wants you.
Coming to your marriage now, how has the national lockdown affected the way in which you and your husband spend time together and find the time to spend together?
We have been loving it. For me, it's been amazing. My husband's away for 6 weeks at a time. So I've never had my husband home for this long, kind of ever. We've been together for 11 years and he's kind of been doing this rotation work all the time. So for me, it's been amazing. And, we get on so well. We have an amazing relationship. So for us being in close quarters with each other hasn't been a problem at all. We've loved it. We've been chilling. Before baby arrived, we were watching movies, catching up with series, cooking dinners, doing all these wonderful things that we really missed when we were apart from each other. And even now when Babs is here, we've always been really good at finding those moments to connect, whether it's over a cup of coffee in the morning or dinner in the evenings or just when we find a gap, in the day. So we've been really lucky in that regard. And, the other day we got sent over a beautiful meal, 5-course meal package, and it was so much fun being in the kitchen together. That was our date night, even though Babs was a part of it. Isla was a part of it, but it was our little date night, which was wonderful.
Now the question that South Africans have been dying to find out from you. You are a professional as a TV personality and an actress within the entertainment space. Are you ready for the balancing act? Are you ready to juggle this motherhood, wife, and of course, charisma?
I am so ready. And I think it's just really all about taking it in your stride, and it is what it is. And as women, as strong independent women, we all strive for different things. We all have incredible goals that we want to achieve, and I think it's all possible. I really think in this day and age we can have it all, but it's really all about being chilled and taking things in your stride and giving yourself that time. I only plan to really get back into things in December, really be selective about the work that I do and that I put my energy into, because let's face it, for the first 2 years of my child's life, she is going to be my priority. My career and my work will always be important to me. It's a huge part of who I am. And even now, I'm really enjoying doing a lot of social media campaigns and that kind of thing, which is still keeping me going and keeping me feeling like I've still got a sense of myself, and still keeping up with my career. But I'm at home and I can be with Babs and she can be a part of things. So it really is about finding that balance and what works for you, because what works for me is not necessarily what's going to work for someone else. And I think that's so important. As moms, we shouldn't really compare ourselves to other people. We should find really what works for us.
Now you are a new mom, so you are relatively new to this. What are some of the things that you can proudly say have been brought into your family's lives as a result of the beautiful baby girl?
Well, we've chosen to do things in a very alternative way. It's kind of how I chose to, look at my pregnancy and childbirth, in that we're really raising our daughter in a very holistic way. And it was really tough at the beginning because, as all newborns do, they have all sorts of tummy issues. And, it's quite easy to just give some colic drops or do something like that. And we've chosen to stay away from all of that and really follow a natural way of living and, really forming a good foundation for my child without medications and, that kind of thing. Being present, holding space, conscious parenting, child-led parenting, all of those things that we're trying to follow. And it wasn't easy, I thought, it's going to be so easy. This is how I live my life. This is how I'm going to raise my child. It was so tough, looking at my baby, and she was going through something that you can't really do anything about. And I mean, sometimes colic drops or whatever don't really help. It's just your child, landing itself into this new world, that it has to get used to, and things developing the way they need to develop. And at times I wanted that quick fix. I really did. But I had to really take a step back and think about why I'd made the choices that we'd made, and stick to my guns. And I think it's really played out because I look at how beautifully my child's developing. And I'm really proud of us for really forming those foundations early on.
Thank you so much, Karishma, for trusting your gut and raising your baby girl the best way you and hubby know how. And we celebrate all moms here on Afternoon Express. You know your child, you know what's good for your family. So please continue to do exactly that. But do not move a muscle. Don't go too far, because we want to play a little bit of a game with you later. Or do you have your competition hat on?
Yes, always. It's always on.
Okay, so I heard you talking about enjoying your coffee and your rusks and your tea with hubby. So a little bit later on in the show, we're going to be playing a fun game with you and Omar and Chef Dumi.
Yeah, I can't wait.
I just absolutely love inviting new mommies to the mommy club. She's doing so well. Like, looking at how she's juggling everything. Yeah. You should know, actually, because you're a master of all trades, actually.
Well, you know what they say about being a master of all trades. I think these days mummies are allowed to have a career. They're allowed to have a life, and they're allowed to have their babies, and they do. They juggle well.
Yeah, but Palisa, I don't know how you feel about it, because you're not a mommy yet, but I know you're juggling quite a lot right now.
Right? So I can only imagine how one needs to extend themselves when it comes to becoming a parent, because, you know, a lot of mothers say that it's the most important role that they hold down. So, you know, hats off to all the mommies and daddies out there making a true difference in their child's lives. And speaking about all things relationships, you know, I'm inquisitive. Y'all know me. I'm in everyone's business, right? So I want to find out from our viewers at home, is anyone out there single who is taken, or who's kind of like Jada Smith and is in a bit of an entangled situation? So let's head over to social media. And Smash says, I am taken and things are going very well. Hashtag Afternoon Express. We also have Mahalia, and Mahalia says, hey Palisa, I'm still single because I feel like I haven't found the right guy who treats me right in a relationship. Ladies, what do you think about that? Waiting for the right person.
And every pot has a lid, so don't rush into anything because you're worth it.
I like that. You're worth it. Don't rush into any craziness, because you want to be sure, you know, if you want to lend yourself out in that way and expect and you want to be in relationships, right? So let's keep the conversation going online. I'm kind of enjoying it and I'm loving where it's going. Now, finding love proved tricky before. It's certainly more challenging now during a global pandemic. So coming up, intimacy coach Marilu Kaba calls into the loft to share how the dating landscape has changed amidst COVID-19.
Express yourself.
coronavirus pandemic and especially lockdown has changed a lot of things that used to be seen as normal, and dating is definitely affected by this. Now that lockdown rules have been a bit more relaxed, more people are going back to a semi-normal form of dating. To chat to us more about this new way of dating is intimacy coach Marilu Gaba. Welcome back to The Loft, Marilu.
Hi, Palisa. Thank you. It's so nice to be back.
Girl, now not to name drop and expose some family members, but I know a couple of people affected by their dating and lockdown. So how has dating been affected during the stricter phases of lockdown?
Yeah, so when we were still under full lockdown, it was a very interesting time for dating because obviously there was no physical meeting of dating. And so what we saw even on the internet were some really creative ways of dating. But interestingly enough, over this time, dating apps like Tinder and Bumble, they actually saw the biggest exchange of messages that they've ever seen in dating history. So to me, that means that especially as we were isolated and locked down, we're still social creatures and we really crave that human connection. So I think digitally there was an explosion in dating, but maybe not physically. And so what that meant is that people started doing things like communicating via WhatsApp or voice notes, or even having online Zoom dates, so having video dates. So there were a few examples of that as well.
Marilu, I can already see this picture in my head. I've got my phone here or my laptop. I've got my dinner. My significant other has the same, and we're clinking through our screen. That's kind of cute. So, Marilu, would you say then that the lockdown has been positive or negative for dating?
That's a really interesting question because I think it's definitely made it more complex. So something that I think is really positive and something I've heard again and again is that lockdown has brought courtship back to dating. So I personally think that the way that we date recently, like modern dating, is very fast. We have so much access to so many people through Facebook, through dating apps, and we tend to rush into things quite quickly. And so now that we couldn't meet physically immediately and maybe rush into physical relationships immediately, it's given us this opportunity to take things slow. And I think that's really, really healthy. As I said, people have been communicating more via text or voice note or video, and that allows you some time to get to know a person. So I think that's a very positive thing. Another interesting thing I've heard is many people have anxieties around, especially the first date. So questions like, where do we go? How do I get there? Who picks up whom? Who's going to pay for this date? What do I eat on this date? Do I go for drinks or coffee? All these questions have now been removed because those options didn't exist anymore.
Those options now are off the table, but I kind of like this, Marilu. We're taking dating way back in the day to where our parents enjoyed the courtship and the romance and the communication of it all. So what about now? You know, we find ourselves in advanced level 3 of lockdown. How do we find the dating scene?
So obviously with advanced level 3, the biggest change is that we can now meet physically again. So if you were dating someone through WhatsApp voice note over lockdown, you now have the opportunity to meet them physically. But the thing is, ideally, you still want to be safe. You still want to wear your mask when you go out and really think of those things. So look, if we're honest, I know what's going on. Even during the strictest time of lockdown, there were still so many people secretly dating and secretly meeting people. So I think a really important thing to consider is just, what is the risk that you're taking? If you want to meet someone in person, that's fine, but what is the risk that you're taking? So it makes it more complicated if you are looking for love to be in a situation where you can't really touch and you can't really kiss, because we know coronavirus is most easily transferred like through the lungs, through the saliva. So kissing is totally off the table. And that does make it more complex. But if you can be patient and if you can keep to a space of safety for yourself, then dating can be a lot of fun. And as you said, like, you get to communicate a little bit more. So with advanced level 3, what we can do is go for outside dates. So this means that you can go for a walk, you can go grab a takeaway coffee somewhere. So it's really nice to be able to meet someone and maybe just keep your distance for the first few dates.
It's all about thinking outside the box. I love a little romantic walk or a little romantic hike. I'm all for it, Marilu. But lastly, what about dating for parents with kids? I mean, these parents are stuck at home with the kids all day.
So dating for couples, so important. If you are in a relationship where you and your partner live in the same house, you have children, you work in the same house now, things are the same every day. Especially at the beginning of lockdown, I heard so many people joke and say they don't even know what day of the week it is, right? Because every day it's the same. It's the same people, it's the same walls, it's the same conversations. It's so much of the same. And especially now in advanced level 3, we can move more. So for couples to stay together, if possible, I would say please commit to 1 date per week. And if possible, get someone to look after your children for a few hours. It's so important for healthy relationships to have that variety. Because if you're always in the same space with this person, you do get tired of them. This is a very normal thing to happen. You almost get saturated with that person. And by going out into a different environment, you literally see them in a different light.
Yeah.
So when you go out as a couple, you might find that you have different kind of conversations. You start to see your partner outside of those 4 walls. And again, it doesn't have to be expensive. You can go for a long drive with your partner. You can go for a walk somewhere, go for a coffee, do something very simple, but get out of your house with them.
And also, okay, if you are going to be calling any babysitters, we have to make sure that they're also safe and they're also being able to be isolated and quarantined. So let's make sure that the whole family is taken care of. But lastly, Marilu, do you have any other advice for people that are looking for love?
Yeah, so this is actually a very exciting time to be dating, if you want to think about it. So again, you have this opportunity, you have all of the permission you've ever wanted to take it slow. You have so much permission to talk for a long time, to get to know someone, whether it's like through your phone or through social distance dates, but really take it slow. Like, we have time, we have so much of it. The other thing that I think is a great opportunity now, if you don't feel safe dating at the moment, if you don't feel safe meeting someone in person, use this time for some self-reflection. Use this time for some inner work specifically around dating. So you can look at all of your past relationships. What patterns do you see in them? What habits do you have in relationship? And really just do some introspection or self-reflection, and that's going to make you a better person to date when you then go back into the dating world. It will make you a better partner. It will make you a better person to be in a relationship with. So that's really something you can gift to yourself, is the self-reflection.
Marilu, that seems like a very challenging task and one that needs someone to be brave and courageous, having to reflect and look at your own dating habits. But thank you so much for this advice and this tips for all the singletons or single parents out there that are looking for love during lockdown. Thank you, Marilu, and goodbye.
Thank you.
Now, I want everyone to head over to social media. If you find yourself looking for love during lockdown, how are you finding it? Has it been positive? Has it been negative? And what are some of the crazy stories? Use that hashtag Afternoon Express, though.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's a good thing or a bad thing that we're going through a pandemic during relationships. So it's either a good thing because you get to learn someone in a different way,
Absolutely.
or it's a bad thing because you don't get to really see who they are.
Well, the thing is, I think when you have all this time on your hands, eventually something's got to drop. The true you has got to come to the surface, isn't it? You can't keep that up for too long.
That is quite true. Palisa, what do you think of that?
Hi, guys. Honesty is the best policy. Wear your heart on your sleeve and just be whoever you are, and then hopefully your partner can stomach that real person, because we're not going anywhere anytime soon. We heard the President Ramaphosa. He made his speech yesterday, so we all know what we can expect. And speaking about things that we can expect and some of the messiness that has come with lockdown, we've asked you on social media, what is your lockdown relationship status? Ladies, it's looking kind of tricky, okay? We've got Umahlapa who says, entanglement, hashtag Afternoon Express. We also have Vanessa here who says that she's in an entanglementationship.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, that was just complicated saying it. Imagine being in that situation. But I mean, Janie, you are in a relationship. I mean, we all saw that ring on your finger. So how have you been able to lock it down with love?
It's called communication.
Okay.
And say what you feel when you feel it, but say it nicely. You know what I'm saying? You can say hamba, but say it nicely, hamba.
But say, ngiyacela uhambe bandla, sithandwa sami. Okay, thank you for breaking that down. Now, Mahlapa and Vanessa, I hope you're listening and taking notes, because that is how you can maybe untangle that crazy web that you find yourself in. Now, these chilly winter days call for a hot cuppa and a crunchy rusk. Coming up, we add our fun spin on this comfort as Chef Dumi takes on Karishma Basday in the Omar Rusk 5-second game.
Express yourself.
That communication and be honest about what you're feeling and what your partner's doing that's irritating the shit out of you. Say it, that's when the wheels fall off.
Got zero tact, but like at work and during like with other people. You know winter has arrived when you start seeing the Omar Rusks everywhere. And let's just say that Omar Rusks have got a whole lot more yum yum because they've launched a brand new peanut butter flavor and it's delicious. But we can't keep them to ourselves, so we thought that we'd play a new fun game with the new coolest mom in town, Karishma Basday. And she'll be going head to head with our dearest chef and mom, Dumi. Ladies, I hope you are ready because we are about to play a brand new game called 5-second game. And this is easy. Karishma, are you ready? The rules are pretty simple, and this is how it goes. I'm going to ask you a series of questions, and you've got 5 seconds to answer. The winner takes home all the rusks. Deal?
Deal.
Deal, Karishma?
Yes.
Okay, Dumi, let's start with you. Do you have your game face on, girl?
Game face on, I'm ready.
Right. I want Dumi to name 3 kids' cartoons. Go.
Spider-Man, PJ Masks, Peppa Pig.
Okay, you just got it, girl. Literally with a second to spare, can I just find out, are all 3 of Dumi's answers correct? Ding, ding, ding! Correct. Karishma, I hope that you can do as well as Dumi, and your question goes a little bit like this. Name 3 nursery rhymes. Go.
Itsy Witsy Spider, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, Humpty Dumpty.
Oh, you didn't get Humpty Dumpty. I wish I could give you Humpty Dumpty, girl, but I feel like that Humpty Dumpty, the balla had already run.
Just made it.
Just made it?
She just made it.
Or, okay, so Dumi wants to give you the point. Dumi's feeling generous.
Yes.
Let's give you all 3 points. Congratulations. Dumi, because you're feeling so generous, the next question is to you.
Okay.
Name 3 types of shoes. Go.
Heels, flats, sneakers, boots. I'll just add one in case we don't.
Dumi was feeling a little bit cocky there at the end. She gave us a 4th one just for good luck. I mean, Karishma, are we feeling her answers?
Yes, of course. Excellent.
Okay, it seems like everyone here is a good sport. So, Karishma, let's see if you can give as much ferocity as Dumi did. In 3, 2, 1, can you name 3 clothing items for a baby? And go.
A diaper, baby shoes, baby grower, and a bloomers.
It just seems like this game is too easy for our ladies. Congratulations, you have gotten, again, another point for these incredible games. Okay, Dumi, I'm just going to keep it going. It seems like you guys have quite the momentum here. You guys are even giving bonus points. So let's keep it going. Dumi, in 3, 2, 1, please may you name 3 excuses to avoid making dinner.
I have a headache, I'm tired, I feel sick.
Dumi, why was that so easy for you?
I've made a couple of excuses in my life.
You've made a couple of excuses in your life? Okay, she's pleading the 5th. Karishma, yours is kind of similar, but I want you to name 3 excuses to leave a party early. In 3, 2, 1, go.
My baby needs me. I have to be on set early in the morning, and I'm really tired.
Okay, but to be honest, I think it's safe to say that my baby needs me is answer 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I agree with you there, actually.
Congratulations, you ladies are owning this game. But I wonder who is going to walk away with these yum yum peanut butter flavored rusks. Dumi, this last question is for you, baby girl. Can you please name 3 famous celeb moms?
Olwe Tulesh, Dumi Morake, Anele Mdoda.
This game is the rusks.
Just give me the rusks.
Please may you name for me, Karishma, 3 Kardashians. Go.
Kim, Chloe, Courtney.
And cheers to good answers, cheers to correct answers. You got it, girl. Congrats. Look, I think it's safe to say you both are walking away with Omar rusks. And I think it's even better here because we've got Omar rusks for each of you. So, Dumi, you take yours.
You know what I want to do? I want to donate my box of Omar rusks to Karishma because since it's only 2 months in, she's going to need a whole lot more of these.
Okay, well then on that note, Karishma, do you have any winning words?
I love you too, you're amazing.
Love you
Thank
too.
So, Karishma, before I let you go, I want to find out from you, when will be your best time of the day to be dipping your peanut butter flavor Omar rusks?
First thing in the morning with my cup of coffee. No better time.
No better time. And just like that, we have to let you go. Thank you so much for the incredible chat earlier on. And thank you for being such an incredible team player. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Now, courtesy of Omar Russ, we're giving you a chance to win big too. We know that any time is dipping time, and we want you to send us a photo of you dipping an Omar Russ during your favorite time of the day. Whether it's in the morning as breakfast or a little midnight snack, you can post your photo on the Afternoon Express Facebook or Twitter page to enter. And the person who sends us the best photo will walk away with a state-of-the-art Smeg kettle and Omar Russ hamper worth 2,500 Rand. Remember, though, that T's and C's do apply and can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
Our favorite Omar rusks just got a whole lot more yum yum with the all-new peanut butter flavor. Anytime is dipping time.
I'm a winner!
Well done, Chef. Well done, well done.
But obviously, I had to donate because she's a new mom. And as a new mom, it is only fair that we welcome each other with love. So she needs the rusks more than I do.
Yeah,
because
that
I
is
wouldn't
so
even
sweet.
get them anyway because my son would have them. So
I mean, Jenny, do you love yourself a good rusk?
Oh, yes, especially when I can dunk it.
Absolutely, I love that. Okay, speaking about dunking things, or rather being dumped.
Yes, dumped or dunked.
Being dumped or dunked. We've been asking you on social media, how are you faring in terms of love in lockdown? Okay, so if we head over here, we've got Brendan, and Brendan says, I'm single and happy. There's no way I'm getting myself into Will's situation. Hashtag Afternoon Express. I don't know, ladies, is it safe to categorize it as Will Smith's situation?
I think a lot of people are in that situation. It's just that because Will and Jada came out with it, now everyone wants to label it as an entanglement. We see you.
Wow.
Entanglement.
You to me is coming. Shots fired. But that is so true. A lot of families and a lot of people in relationships find themselves in a bit of a tricky situation, and they need to be honest and own their space in that relationship.
Talk about it.
There goes that advice, communication. Okay, well, let's keep the conversation going on social media and let us know how you're faring. Are you single, taken, or are you in an in an entanglement pending? Now, adolescence is a time filled with monumental changes, which can all be harder to navigate amidst a general and global pandemic. So coming up, we chat with family therapist Talia Russell about raising a teenager during the COVID-19 era. Parenting a teenager is notoriously complicated. There's a lot of physical, emotional, and social development that is happening in a relatively short space. The change from a 12-year-old to a 19-year-old is dramatic. Now, when you throw a global pandemic into a mix, it's even more challenging to navigate for all. We chat to family therapist and social worker Talia Russell about why it's important to talk to our teenagers about COVID-19. Welcome back to The Loft, Talia.
Hi, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Talia, why do we need to be talking to our teenagers about COVID-19?
Well, I think, we've spoken a lot with little kids and homeschooling and all of that, but now we've got teenagers who've got 1 foot in the adult camp and 1 foot in the child camp. And that navigating for themselves, as well as the parents who are ultimately responsible for them, makes it very difficult right now.
What are some of the unique challenges teenagers are facing during this pandemic?
So developmentally, what teenagers, their main goal at this stage of their life is separating. They've got to pull away from their parents and find a new tribe, which is their friends. So that's what they're pushed to do. And they've got a brain that is not fully developed. And this brain is impulsive and it wants immediate gratification. And now with this pandemic, it's doing the opposite. We are not letting them be with their friends. We've taken away school. I mean, it's slowly coming back, but they've been quite confined with their family and their parents. And so it's almost going against their natural development. And we're asking them to wear masks, which is not very cool. We're asking them to socially or physically distance, so be away from their friends. And I mean, I don't know, Polly, if you can remember being a teenager, but I certainly remember, and I didn't even want to wear a jersey. I didn't want to listen to what my parents had to say because my brain was making me separate and push against things. So now when we've got a very serious issue of keeping ourselves healthy, it's tough with teenagers.
Talia, I'm right there with you. Trust me, as a teenager, we are very consumed with how we look, how we present ourselves to the world, and how the world in turn receive us. So, girlfriend, I'm right there with you. High school was a mess, my darling. But we've heard earlier on from Karishma, who is a mother to a 2-month-old, and how she's been able to navigate that space. But now with the older children, navigating a space as a parent to a teenager can be complicated enough. So how can parents try to navigate this process with them?
So I think what parents really need to do is communicate again, but be real. Don't just say wear a mask because I told you, or not go into the details. Like with everything, like whether it's drinking or drugs, you can't just say to a teenager, don't do it. Because that doesn't work with their brain. You need to explain the risks. You need to make it real. You need to say, look, I know that you don't think it will affect you, but these are the people at risk. You need to explain the facts that we've learned about why physical distancing helps in these moments. Teenagers don't just want to hear a blanket ruling. They want to be engaged with it, so parents talk about it. I think parents also really need to check their own behavior. So don't talk the talk if you're not going to walk the walk. So wear your mask. You've got to be responsible, practical. They can see straight through parents who are giving them, giving them false. When parents themselves are not doing it. And finally, I would also say for parents, you need to be able to make decisions that your child may not like. Ultimately, it is about keeping them safe, keeping the community safe. And again, back to like anything, whether it was drinking or drugs or going out with boys or girls, you are the parent and you're responsible for that. And other people may be making different decisions, but you've got to stick to your family values. Okay,
so you've spoken about the separation that teenagers have. Sometimes when mom says A, the teenager says B. And we see this time and time again with parents. So what happens when parents and the teenagers disagree about the rules during this pandemic?
I think that parents need to be quite clear about the consequences beforehand. So explaining to your child, look, this is, if you are going to see your friend, these are the parameters that we're going to put in place. This is what we're agreeing to. If you don't abide by it, these are the consequences. And so talking to them about the responsibilities and what will happen if they don't follow through. And then parents have to stick to that. So when the children are not, when the teens are not going to follow through, you do have as a parent a responsibility to give them a consequence, because that's how the real world works.
And that is facts. We have to do something. If we do something, there is going to be an equal reaction that is going to follow, and it's something that we can expect. So, Talia, the final tips or suggestions to parents?
I think we're going to have have to get creative here as parents, as a society, that we can't just say to the teens, okay, don't see anybody or just, do whatever you want. We're going to have to think, right, how do we balance their needs, their social and emotional needs, at the same time with the keeping safe, because they can be carriers. So I would encourage parents and teens to talk and say, right, how are we both going to be happy about you going to school? What can you put in place? How can you see your friends? Perhaps your teens need more assistance with monitoring, and maybe, in the moment they're going to get too caught up and they want your help to just remind them, keep a space between you two. Just put on your thinking caps. I know it's not so easy, but right now we have to navigate this safely while still maintaining their natural development.
Thank you so much, Talia Rissel, for helping us navigate the space, whether you are a parent or a guardian to a teenager. It is complicated, it can get a little bit tricky, but it is possible. Thank you and goodbye. There you have it, South Africa. If you find yourself in this tricky and sticky position, head over to our Afternoon Express Facebook, Instagram or Twitter pages, and please may you share your experience with us. South Africa, as parents and guardians, let's lean on each other and help. But remember to use that hashtag Afternoon Express.
To me, I've been locked down with a husband and a son. I can't imagine what it must be like being trapped in a house with a teenager during lockdown.
I'm not ready for that. I'm glad mine is still very young and still easy to control.
Yes.
I can't imagine a teenager. Palesa, I'm glad I'm not in that phase yet.
I know, right? I was listening to Talia and I was just like, home girl, preach, because so many parents right now are taking those tips and tricks. But South Africa, I just have to scurry over to social media because we're speaking about a topic that I'm loving right now. Trying to find out what's happening in terms of all things love. So we have Olwetu, and Olwetu says here, I'm single and I'm not ready to mingle at all, but only time will tell. Hashtag Afternoon Express. We also have got another viewer here, Mystique, who says, I'm happily in an entanglement. Now that's interesting on its own, ladies, that someone is happily. Okay, but ladies, allow me to read one more because this one is just hilarious to me. Upendi says, in these lockdown times, my relationship status is I'm taken. At least I have a partner to keep me warm in this pandemic situation or days. And I'm also glad because things are working out. Now, I'm wondering who's the big spoon and who's the little spoon? Who's cuddling and who's keeping who warm?
Absolutely.
Well, luckily, we don't have to worry.
Leads.
And speaking about food and utensils in the kitchen, ladies, what's coming up?
Today, we're using our wooden spoon. We're going to be making some microwavable date balls using our Clover fresh milk.
Magnifique.
In the blue bottle, darling.
The blue bottle.
That sounds delicious, ladies. Now, the way we go on dates may have changed, but the way we enjoy dates, eating out dates, will always stay the same. So coming up, we show you our sweet microwave date balls recipe.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Welcome back, South Africa. Hope you guys are having an amazing Monday, because I definitely am, because I'm not rolling alone today. I am with the one, the only, Miss Jenny Morris in the kitchen, and we're going to be making some microwave date balls today.
Delicious, absolutely love it. I could eat those ingredients as is.
As is, right?
But I'm going to let you make it.
Thank you. So to make these amazing microwave balls, we've got some dates that we've chopped up nicely, and then I'm going in with some butter that I've cubed up, as well as muscovado sugar.
I love that. It's so sticky and ooey and good.
And caramelly and all of those things that are nice and beautiful. And then to tie it all together, our amazing blue bottle Clover Fresh Milk. I just need about 60 mils of this, not a lot.
Can I have a liter? Have some. I love milk.
Please enjoy. And then all of this is basically going to go into the microwave, because today we're not going to be using the oven or the stove. We want to keep it simple. So we're going to put this into the microwave to heat up and get together and do mhlangano. Basically what you and I are doing today, coming together as one.
Oh, there you go.
But luckily, I've got some that I already mixed earlier.
As one does.
Yeah. And all we're going to do now is mix in the rest of our ingredients, because we want to be able to roll them up. You seem to be having quite a great time over there.
I'm loving it. I love milk, and this is just so gorgeously fresh. It's
and
really
the best
great.
part about it is, with Clover, because we know it's always quality, they've got 55 quality tests that have gone into this. So this has been tested and tested and tested. It's gone past the entanglement stage. It is now a committed stage. We are
I
sure
love it.
of that. So this is the best milk out there in the market right now. So after I've mixed all the ingredients there, I'm just going to go in with a bit of walnuts that have been chopped up
delicious.
nicely. That crunch, that texture, perfect. And then some raisins for a bit more of that sweetness. And then some Rice Krispies.
Oh my goodness, Clover milk and Rice Krispies, breakfast time!
I know, right?
I love it.
It's a perfect combination. And so all we're going to do is just mix this all together. This mixture is going to cool down for a bit, and once it's cooled down, we're going to be able to then roll up our mixture and form these beautiful microwave balls that you want here. So I'm going to put this aside, because as you know, we work our magic here on the Afternoon Express kitchen. So I don't need to go through all that admin, because I already did go through all the admin over
Look at you. You've been a busy girl to me.
And so if it was just any other day, I could eat these as is.
Well, I could.
I know. And if you also want to do the same, you can go into afternoonexpress.co.za to get all the ingredients and the steps. But instead of doing that, because we like to add more levels to how we do things over here, I'm going to be decorating mine with some desiccated coconut. But I see you've got some other beautiful things happening over there.
This would be beautiful for like a kiddie's. This, I think, is just an amazing little kiddie birthday party thing.
Yes, perfect idea.
So, white chocolate.
Yeah, especially with people being home, this is the perfect recipe for that, because you don't have to go and outsource. You can do it at home. Oh my gosh, that looks pretty.
Isn't that beautiful? Oh, I'm so greedy, you know that. I'm like, look at that beautiful baby.
That looks amazing.
And then you've given me these beautiful aqua. This is like jewels. Do you realize what you're doing? I'm going to put this one in my mouth.
You can. You can do whatever you like.
I'm just going to use that finger. Look at this, like little emeralds. Okay, look here. That's the licky finger. It's up. Whoops, stop your nonsense and behave already. Look at that. That is just so gorgeous. It's like jewels. This is nice for little girls' birthday parties.
Exactly, and it also is blue, because we're trying to keep that blue theme with our blue bottle, as you can see. Absolutely. We're keeping it all blue. It's not a blue Monday. It's a blue Monday only because of Clover.
Exactly.
But it's not blue.
Look at that. Do you know, I grew up on Clover. We used to have it delivered to our house.
And that just goes to show how great a product it is.
Yes, absolutely. And it's just gone forever and ever and ever.
And ever. Over the years, and the quality remains the same. The only thing that's changed is just the bottle, basically.
That's it. And you saw me pour it. It's still white inside, so just really, there's nothing blue about it.
So if you want all the ingredient details, guys, go on to afternoonexpress.co.za, get the recipe information, the steps on how to make this recipe, and exactly how many ingredients go into it. Prepare it for yourself, for your family, a party at home, obviously a party for one if you're alone. Don't invite anyone. We are still maintaining the social distancing rules, guys, as you are aware. But yeah, do join us again for another... Oh no, please don't tell me you're leaving.
I'll come back if you want me to.
When?
I can come back on Friday maybe, or even
Okay,
before
guys.
Friday.
Well, you heard it here. She's coming back this Friday to join us, guys. Catch you again just now.
Clever.
Clover Fresh Milk is the #1 milk brand in SA. Made with love by Clover.
Ladies, come on in and let us enjoy a sweet treat for dinner. Thank you. We not only appreciate having you joining us, Jenny, but you also are just a woman who is continuously giving. You've got such an incredible spirit, and you emulate the spirit of our late statesman, Mandela, and we are celebrating Mandela Month as it is the month of July. Looking ahead to that Nelson Mandela International Day on Saturday, and on that note, it's with complete sadness and great sadness that Afternoon Express has to report and remark on the passing of Uzinzi Mandela. Of course, she not only was the daughter of our late statesman Mandela, but also the daughter of Winnie Madikizela Mandela. Herself, though, she was a fierce fighter, a freedom fighter as well, and someone that we can all look up to and say, Imbogodo, Impela, Imbogodo.
Viva the woman, hey?
Absolutely.
Sure.
But Jenny, speaking about all things Nelson Mandela and his legacy, and of course Uzinzi Mandela, what are you getting up to this Mandela Day?
Well, not what I got up to last year because of the pandemic. So last year we made bread, we made soup, we made muffins, we did this whole big thing. But we are still going to be out there at the Cape Quarter in Greenpoint. I want your food, I want your cans, I want your packets of soup mix, I want anything that is non-perishable. There are lots of tummies to fill. There are lots of homes that need just that little parcel of food delivered to the door. So please come between 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock and come and support.
And this is at the Cape Quarter.
Cape Quarter in Greenpoint, yes.
Beautiful.
And if you can't make it to the Cape Quarter, just go to any supermarket that's got a trolley and put food in it.
Absolutely. I think you can always give back, and whether it is to Jenny and her incredible cause, or it's to the SPCA, whatever you are doing as we gear up and we warm up to the 18th of July. I'm loving the 18th, but I want every day to be now International Mandela Day. Absolutely. So on that note, join us again, Mzansi, tomorrow as our phenomenal guest take us on another incredible journey. Until then, good night, stay safe, and happy eating. Thank you, ladies.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I'm full of milk.
Afternoon Express. Made with love by Clover.
Another feel-good production.